Tournament of Champions Tennis. This ABC Sports exclusive is being brought to you by Shearson Lehman Brothers. Shearson Lehman Brothers and the Serious Investor. Minds over money. By Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade helps put back the potassium, fluids, and minerals you lose when you exercise. Gatorade is thirst aid for that deep down body thirst. And by Mercedes-Benz, engineered like no other car in the world.
Back live. Westside Tennis Club, Forest Hills. Yvonne Lendl to the right. McEnroe to the left. Lendl leading 3-0 has broken. McEnroe twice in 2 attempts. Looks superbly confident. McEnroe uneasy. McEnroe committing a succession of unforced errors in the manner of his match against Claudio Pinatta Friday past. Arthur Ashe with the play-by-play.
Lendl's first ace. As I said earlier, I think he's got to keep his first serve percentage, whether they're aces or not, above 60%, and he's certainly doing that.
Well, so far McEnroe has shown virtually no touch.
Yeah, I think he's going to change rackets here pretty soon.
Look at the unforced errors. 8-1.
On that Lendl serve than appears on the screen. McEnroe, I think, may also like to stand back a bit farther and forego those half volley shots from the baseline and give him more time to take full swings at the ball, because his half volley shots have been falling short, giving Lendl a chance to really go for it. Short, Lendl pounce on the forehand cross-court.
So, all love in games.
Cross-court forehand for Lendl. Well, now Howard on the baseline. Jones is not generating enough depth. The balls are falling too short, partly because he's standing on the baseline, half volleying them and not doing it well enough.
Partly because he's losing his confidence and is playing tentatively.
Yes. This clap we hear from the crowd now is one that says we want a tennis match here.
Oddly, we do not have a packed gallery.
No, it
the place was
surprises me.
sold out, but maybe it's the early start on Mother's Day. I don't know. Well, the first game in which McEnroe has served strongly. The other 2 times he was broken.
That was a very hard Lendl backhand down the line.
That's true, but Mac is the world's greatest player, and one expects him to get those.
Yes, but his effectiveness at the net on clay is not the same as his effectiveness at the net on a hard surface, where his footing is true. Less traction here on this clay.
That's a good point.
Well left, they say.
But again, as play continues, the surface will get more to McEnroe's like.
Yes. but at a slower pace today because the sun's not out. It's not quite as hot as it was yesterday. With the sun under the clouds, the court is not going to drive it quite as fast. That's wide. Oh, the back linesperson called it good, and the umpire overruled. It was definitely a fault. Definitely. McEnroe is just now wondering why Martin Parker overruled. Got to get off the baseline. That's all there is to it right now. He's standing on the baseline trying to rely on his touch with the half volley, and it's not working. That's getting him in trouble now more than anything else. He's got to stand a couple of yards back and take full swings at the ball. Oh, that's an ace. He's on the scoreboard for the first time today.
4 games to 1. Lendl leading. We'll be right back. Statistics tell a lot right there. Time was when Lendl totally dominated McEnroe, but since '83, the converse has been true. However, today, at least in the first set, a different look. Confident, purposeful Lendl, having broken McEnroe twice, and leading 4 games to 1 in the first set of their best-of-3 finals here at the Tournament of Champions at Westside Tennis Club in Forest Hills. And here is Arthur Ashe.
Well, John, I'm sure is happy just to be on the scoreboard right now.
Saw McEnroe half throw up his hands.
Well, he knew he was in a almost hopeless position there. His drop volley attempt just didn't work.
The touch shot did not work.
No. Slightly reminiscent of the match against Claudio Panatta 2 days ago, where he just couldn't find the court, didn't have any touch. Regained it somewhat yesterday in the match against Sundstrom, but Lendl hits the ball at least 30% harder than Sundstrom. McEnroe still coming to the net a lot, 21 versus 3 for Lendl. But his winning percentage in coming to the net below 50%. Yes.
His passing shots thus far have been unerring.
We look at Lendl's backhand cross court again, that passing shot. McEnroe was protecting the right half of the court, but, or I should say more appropriately, the correct half of the court, which is the right side when he got past cross court.
The crowd at this point behind McEnroe, wanting to see some of McEnroe's skills on display. And of course, is virtually in his hometown of Douglaston. Was a ball boy here, played junior tennis here, likes it here.
Yes, sir.
Took a roundhouse swing at that one. Exactly. He was going for a home run. Notice something else here, Howard. John has not attempted one backhand cross-court approach shot today. They've all been down the line. I think Lendl senses that, which is the reason he's getting to that his backhand and hitting his backhand passing shot so effectively. John's a bit too predictable on the backhand side with his approach shot. That was on the... Ooh, it looked good from here. That looked very good from here.
They're at 30 all.
Lendl wants the lines person to check the mark. No. Oh, now the whole crowd senses that the lines person is looking at the wrong mark.
Right there, that's the mark.
Yes. That's wild. Let's take a look at that on super slow motion. It certainly looked good from here. That's good. Well, that's just what I think. It looks good from here. And when that ball was served by Lendl, I was looking at the court and not the monitor, and it looked very good from here. I think that's a bad call.
There'll be more.
Yeah, but on clay, a lines person should be able to look at a clear, distinctly out ball. He couldn't point to a distinct out mark, so...
Closing your mic, Arthur. Take it off like this here. Oh, I'm sorry. It is okay.
So, it is 40-30 Lendl. You hate to see any game go on a disputed call or an overruled call. Either way, you've got a disputed call. That's what happened in the very first game of this match. Call in favor of McEnroe was overruled, and that led to McEnroe being broken in the very first game.
Tried it again, and he made it this time.
So we're at deuce. And that was his first evidence of touch on a drop shot today.
Yes, we need to see more of those. That could get him in trouble, actually. He might not now think that, well, I can make that shot. He'll try it again, and he may miss it. He doesn't play at many clay court tournaments, no more than 2 or 3 a year, maximum. So doesn't get too much practice on this surface. That looked good. Split the line. Nice.
So it's advantage, Lendl. And the crowd didn't like that, which is meaningless.
Ancient history. Lendl is serving about as well as I've ever seen him serve on clay right now. Very well.
He's an improving performer on all surfaces.
Just wide. Just wide.
So the game goes to Lendl. As you look at it again, you had Lendl, but just 5 games to 1. Lendl, 1 lead.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to... Sorry, Howard. It'll be interesting now to see what John does, whether he wants to just casually play this game or whether he's really going to try to win this set. Take a peek at John's father.
Yeah, he dies every day. He did yesterday. He did the day before against Bernarda. He was ready to give up.
Yes. John did not look good against Claudio Bernarda. Not looking very good against Ivan Lendl today. Take nothing away from Lendl. He is playing extremely well.
He certainly is.
Very confidently.
His passing shots have been uncanny.
But he's moving to those shots as if he knows where John's going. John's bread and butter approach shot with his forehand is the cross-court shot. He hasn't hit that too much today. And as as I said earlier, I think he's going down the line with his backhand too much, so much so that Lendl is predicting it. Lendl is still above 60%. McEnroe brought it up a little bit. That's going to be out. The sun's not out as bright as it was, but it's still very humid. As we take another look at John's serve, perfect toss, right down the middle. Surprisingly, John has taken his headband off. He was wearing a Bruce Springsteen-like headband at the beginning of the match, which he's worn all week here.
Some hazy sun beginning to come through now.
Yes, they both are relying more and more on the sawdust. John puts it in his pocket every game or so. Lendl has a huge left pocket full of sawdust.
And so McEnroe holds service, trails 2-5 in the first set. And McEnroe clearly struggling. We'll be back with more Tournament of Champions tennis after this word from your local stations.
Phil Wilson, U Center 12 weekend.
That's the scene. Westside Tennis Club, Forest Hills, New York. The graphic tells the story of the score thus far. Domination by Lendl, having broken John McEnroe's service twice. And John struggling, regaining now some measure of confidence in his own service. He's held it the last 2 times, but he's deep in the hole. At 5-2 as Lendl prepares to serve for what could be the game that will win the set for the great Czechoslovakian player. And here again, Arthur Ashe.
Thanks, Howard. I think things go according to past form. Lendl might serve this game up. That's an unforced error. I do think, I agree with you, that John is gaining a bit more touch than he showed at the beginning of the match, but he's still quite a bit away from both evening the match and feeling and looking as though he knows what he's doing out there.
11 unforced errors total for McEnroe, 5 for Lendl. McEnroe the culprit, both forehand and backhand.
Those backhand unforced errors are mainly due to errant approach shots, a bit over anxious.
Takes over here. McEnroe is a long way from breaking service here, but one could sense in the last game that he was beginning
to put it together,
to get his self-belief back above all.
As I told you before, he's going to keep trying it, but the problem there was he was behind the service line when he tried that. You watch that again.
He was too far back.
Yeah, watch. He's on the service line when he tried. That's too far back, even for him. Although it almost went over.
Yeah, it hit the tape.
Another millimeter.
15-30.
They've dribbled over.
15-40, double break point for McEnroe. It's not been in this position, I don't believe, before.
Not today.
Not in this set. Long.
pressed it again.
He did press it. He had the right idea.
Yes, but that is what, as we saw the graphic earlier, the reason John had so many unforced errors in the backhand.
Irritated with himself, can't get control. Looks up into the sun. Not hitting the shots the way he wants to hit them. Now we're down to a single break point.
That was a fault.
It was long. And an error by Lendl and a service break for McEnroe. So Lendl leads 5 games to 3, first set.
That was a very tentative and unconfident forehand.
McEnroe back on serve and people still arriving. So maybe this place will be filled yet.
Well, not back on serve as far as the score, but certainly looking to repeat the success he had 2 games ago. Yes.
At least it's provoked a little interest.
So far.
Double fault.
He went for that, though. He was prepared to take a shot and just go for it. He didn't make a trying to hit with
love 50
with a lot of spin. He just said, well, what the hell, I'm going to go for it, and he did. Paid the price. On the line. Look like Lendl is return serve. We check McEnroe out here at 15 love. Love 15, rather. That volley just lands on the line. Almost out. 15 all.
Almost, but not.
He changed his mind that time. He started to hit a volley and he said, no, I think I'll try a drop shot.
15-30.
And he's switching his mind from volley to drop volley because Lendl is standing so far back. Look where he is. He's almost back by the canvas. He is at least 5 yards from the baseline. 5 yards back.
There you see it.
It's where Borg used to stand to return serve on clay. His return is just going to be top spin to get the ball down low. He might move up a step or two here, but you notice he's also moved to a lateral position where he's almost inside the doubles alley, giving him a forehand. And that drop volley works.
30 all.
McEnroe desperately hanging on here. I don't know whether his thigh is bandaged today or not. The last 2 days, his left thigh was bandaged.
No evidence of it.
No, even though it was underneath his shorts.
Showed a little yesterday. Did not show in the day of the Pinata match. Yes, it is bandaged, I'm told.
Yes, unforced error.
At this point in time, he is beating himself.
Lendl is playing extremely well, still very confident. Only a couple of shots in this first set so far that looked like they were a bit hesitant. That last forehand earlier in this game.
This could win the set for Lendl.
So McEnroe getting him off the ground.
Spectacular performance by Lendl thus far as he wins the first set 6-3. We are back live at the Westside Tennis Club to have another look at that cross-court passing forehand brilliant shot of Lendl's to close out the first set. 3 times. McEnroe was broken on serve in the first set, and I don't remember when you saw McEnroe broken 3 times on any surface in one set recently. Do you, Arthur?
No.
First set stats. First serve percentage, 60 apiece, the same. Winners, 9 apiece. But the unforced errors are what have cost McEnroe. Always the telltale story. Unforced errors. Lendl about to serve. Again, Arthur.
And he's still on his rhythm with that serve. His third ace.
You have to emotionally upset Lendl for him to crack up, which he does.
He hasn't shown any signs of being rattled today.
I've never seen him more confident.
Yes, it's in there. McEnroe had to stop. Pirouette in midair. Couldn't quite get his racket on it.
So it's 30 love. A service ace, and then another brilliant shot
take a peek
by
at that.
Lendl for the second point
and then
in the game.
Back.
Look at that.
At least Lendl has gone cross court with most of those wide forehand passing shots. He missed, but he didn't miss by much. I see no evidence right now that John is changing his game plan. He's not standing any place different. Still pressing when he gets a short ball. He's got to cut down on the unforced errors, especially on the backhand.
Goodbye.
Seems now to be not just a growing, but an open despair on McEnroe's part.
Well, he's frustrated. He thinks in his own mind that he's tried just about everything he can try and nothing's working. Lendl's just playing too well. That's all there is to it. Hey, he's the second best player in the world on the ATP computer. Shouldn't surprise anyone.
Made it look easy as he captured the first game of the second set. Ivan Lendl in convincing command. John McEnroe to the left, Ivan Lendl to the right. So far, the graphic tells it's been all Ivan Lendl. McEnroe struggling from the very start, broken through his first 2 serves in the first set.
That's just long.
And a third time to end the first set. Unable, it seemingly, in this contest thus far, to draw upon any inner resource to change tactics.
Some serve down the middle, and that one did catch Lendl unawares.
30 love.
Yeah, Lendl couldn't quite get around that one. Well, different beginning in this set from the last one.
So far, this is the most compelling service game McEnroe has had thus far in the match, up to this point.
Out.
20-15.
So John's not going to win a love game. Haven't seen one drop shot from Lendl today. And
He
he's
hasn't had to.
Well, no, but he's had ample opportunity to.
What you haven't
mix
seen
it
is
up.
McEnroe's cross-court forehand, the
Approach
way he
shot.
usually uses, in
No.
profusion. But he's not getting the opportunity from Lendl.
Game McEnroe.
One game apiece in this, the second set.
One game all.
Court is drawing out now, Arthur.
Yes, there is, especially at the baseline and near the tee, up near the net, where the center service line crosses the service line. So more of the same from Lendl in the service department.
15-1.
Oh, that was wide.
30-1.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, but that was
Couldn't
a
get
very,
it in.
No, that was a very hard serve from Lendl, and John was indeed taking a chance there.
So it's 30 love. Lendl has been broken once today. McEnroe 3 times.
Just wide. About an inch. Oh, John thought it was good and was moving over to the other side. John is going to give Lendl a point. Now, in this situation, legally, the umpire shouldn't even allow John to do that. That's ace number 5. Look at that ball. Boom. Looked like it was on the line. John getting a hand from the crowd here.
So it is 40 love.
John waited till the very last minute. So Lendl committed himself, slid a backhand underspin down the line for an approach shot, and put away the
40-30.
overhead. So
So
watch that again. Now an easy overhead over the stands.
So he draws closer.
Just from 40 love he had in this game. Third game, second set. McEnroe lost the first set, in case you joined us late, 6-3. Not playing too well, but Lendl playing extremely well, serving well particularly.
go. No service break for McEnroe. Lendl leads 2 games to 1.
Tournament of Champions Tennis. This ABC Sports Exclusive is being brought to you by Shearson Lehman Brothers. Shearson Lehman Brothers and the Serious Investor. Minds over money. By Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade helps put back the potassium, fluids, and minerals you lose when you exercise. Gatorade is thirst aid for that deep-down body thirst. And by Mercedes-Benz, engineered like no other car in the world.
We're back at the Westside Tennis Club. Don't forget, coming up next, USFL football, Jim Kelly and the Houston Gamblers against Reggie White and the Memphis Showboats. Right now, McEnroe about to serve, trailing 1-2 in the second set, having lost the first set to Lendl, who still appears in command, though maybe not quite as sharp as in the first set, Arthur.
No, McEnroe's definitely playing a bit better. John wants that mark checked. You can ask. It happens on clay, not on the harder surfaces where the ball doesn't leave a clear mark. He's looking at the wrong mark. That, unfortunately, is what happens when on clay, the player asks a lines person to check a mark, and then the lines person comes up and points to the wrong mark. And now that gives John the upper hand in his argument with the umpire. Let's take another peek at that as the ball comes down in super slow-mo. Looked out. That wasn't out.
Left 15.
All right, John can't afford to lose this point. I'd say this point right now is the most important point of the match so far. Down 1-2.
Can't afford to lose anything, and only for one brief, flashing instant, the 8th game of the first set, did one ever sense that McEnroe was gaining self-belief. He has played tentatively the entire day. Service was called out.
Now, later, good. I'm not sure if this is a first serve or a second serve. It must be a second serve. He only has one ball.
All I can read it to be.
One ball in his hand.
Called out. That's 15 off.
I'm told the first serve was a let. So it was called good. And the let played 2.
Game's 2-1 Lendl. Second set.
Oh, John got a late start for that ball.
15-2. He described his play against Pinata as lethargic. Certainly it appears that today.
And now we're going to see a forehand drop volley from Lendl. That's a rare shot we see from him. Trying to hit it short. Not a true drop volley, but
15-30. Service break here, Arthur, could spell doom for McEnroe.
It dropped in, 15-40.
There is no let-up from Lendl, who is now just studying his racket and as assured a player as you would ever want to see.
But then again, right now, John is playing to a pattern, and even I can see it up here. He's very predictable with his serves and his approach shots. He's serving too much to Lendl's backhand on the backhand side. And Lendl is just anticipating that right now.
So we have a double break point situation.
I don't know if he's going to serve a volley this time. He may stay back. Nope. Well played.
And there is the service break. And Lendl assumes further command. He leads 3-1 in the second set. He won the first set on the wings of 3 service breaks, where McEnroe has had only 1 in the whole match. And he seems to be in process of completing a rout against the world's greatest tennis player. It happens.
Yes. Strangely, actually not so strangely, this match is actually going according to form in past Lendl McEnroe encounters. The linesperson's going to change his call. Gets 2 balls. Even though the change was made on the second serve, gets 2 serves. As if McEnroe didn't have enough to worry about. Got a bad call and now 2 serves. Well, so we got it back. Second serve. What I was saying about this match going according to past history of their encounters, when either of the 2 wins, usually it's in a 2 to 3 set match, a straight set victory. When Lendl won, it was usually straight sets. And when McEnroe won, it was straight sets. They didn't have too many 3-set matches when they were playing best of 3 sets.
It's a long time, or will be a long time, before you'll see McEnroe play this poorly.
I don't know why he doesn't stand back, though. He's obviously not able to pick the serve, standing so close to the baseline. He should just back up a couple of steps, as he is now, but perhaps even more. Only 8 unforced errors for Lendl, 19 for McEnroe. John now wondering what he's going to do. Here he's stepping in for that second serve. Half volley, mishits it. Lendl serve 3-1, 40-love in the second. Drops it over that forehand volley, very delicately placed.
Few and far between. Valiant effort by Lendl. I don't think anyone since Tony Roach hits a backhand volley as well as McEnroe. And they both were left-handed. As we watch McEnroe close in, hit that sharp backhand volley cross court. I said only Tony Roach could volley like that from the backhand side. to 4-1, and victory appears at hand. You're looking at Kate McEnroe, a spectator here at the West Side Tennis Club, and she is in mental agony because her son is not performing the way people have grown accustomed to. As the action resumes, McEnroe on service at the moment, trailing 1-4, and having lost the first set 6-3, is in dire straits. Arthur Ashe.
Howard, Lendl's got all the answers right now. McEnroe's tried 2 or 3 different things, and Lendl's been able to come up with the answer every time. And Lendl hasn't changed anything. His first serve percentage is still above 60%. Passing shots are sharp.
His unforced errors continue apace. There's been no change in tactics by John. 15-all.
I would still like to see him be a bit more patient, just since he is behind, just adopt the attitude, well, I'm just going to stay out here and just trade shots, see if I can get back into the groove, get a bit more touch. But that's just not the way he wants to play. He wants to attack. He feels his best chances are, and he's doing that.
The competitor has just come into our booth who knows something about attack. His name is Peter Dawkins, Brigadier General retired, youngest general in the history of the United States Army, West Point All-America, Heisman Trophy winner, Rhodes Scholar. You name it, Pete Dawkins has done it.
And a nice guy.
Yes, and also a tennis player of sorts.
Of sorts.
He discovered one area of mediocrity in the game of tennis for himself, that's. Of course, General Dawkins is with Shearson Lehman Brothers, who are sponsors of this tournament.
Oh, that ball almost crawled over the net. It literally rolled about 2 or 3 inches atop the net.
And McEnroe leads 40-15 in points in this game, trailing 1-4. What do you think, Peter? Have you ever seen John play this dolefully?
I don't know about dolefully, but I've never seen him behind Lendl in these kind of numbers. I think Arthur's right, though, that no matter what he's tried, Lendl's had the answer. And we're just looking for him to come up with a new formula of some sort or another. Lendl's been awfully sharp today, and the surface does help him.
Oh, and the crowd is groaning in sympathy with McEnroe. He tried to sneak in on that throat shot. At the last minute, paid the price. The volley wasn't even close to going over. It went into the net. It was at least 5 inches below the tape. So we just completely misjudged that one.
So it is 40-30.
More than anything else here, Howard, I think this is making John reassess his preparation for the French. It's got to do that. What he's doing can...
That was a marvelous service.
Yeah, what he's doing can be effective against almost everybody else except Lendl. He might have to beat Lendl to win the French, probably.
Well, McEnroe makes it 2 games for him, 4 for Lendl. Lendl reassumes service, and we're getting dangerously close, Arthur.
Yes, well, this is the game that...
It's like the time Dawkins fumbled a kickoff against Navy.
Howard, why is it that you always remember that? Indelibly etched in your memory.
Ask me about his variety show.
Well, there are a lot of people in the stands there hoping that John will be able to turn the corner here and bring it back.
Oh,
But it's hard against that kind of passing shot, which Lendl has been unerring with all day.
And again, but that approach shot was so predictable. He goes on the line just about every time. Here he is.
You're right about that.
See, Lendl knows where he's going to go. I don't think John has gone cross-court with a backhand approach shot once today, not once. So Lendl knows where he's going. Utter domination right now. Very confident. Don't hit him any better than that. John was just taking a chance coming in, trying to sneak in again. Actually, John's getting reckless right now. I just wish he would just
recklessness born of despair, my friend.
Yes, but play basic clay court tennis. Just take a game and just trade shots with Lendl. Just stay out there for 10 minutes. Ace number 6.
It's hard to stay out there, Arthur, on those kind of serves.
Exactly. 40 love.
John's pressing, though, and his pressing is not working, so I'd just like him to stop pressing for a second.
Third voice of the booth, you're hearing General Peter Dawkins.
For the second time today, a sharply angled backhand cross-court passing shot winner.
And a love game for that man, Ivan Lendl, 5-2 in games. That tells the story. And McEnroe serving to Lendl verges on defeat. And it'll be a humiliating defeat. Maybe Lendl has never played better than he's played today. Maybe. Certainly McEnroe has not played remotely well for McEnroe.
I wouldn't call it humiliating, but Lendl's playing very well. I have to give him credit. But McEnroe, I don't think, has tried all the other options.
It's very hard for this man on this surface, meaning McEnroe, to try all those options.
Well, the only option I was thinking of was just to go out and play clay court tennis the way the Europeans or the South Americans do. Just go out there and just hit balls. Just rally for as long as you can. Let the other guy miss first. Good reflex backhand volley there. Although that drop volley attempt wasn't nearly as short as he wanted it to be.
There's one service break differential between them in this set.
John now is just barely over 50% winning percentage and coming to the net. 27 wins.
Very unusual.
54 attempts. So actually, it's
50%
on the nose.
Very unusual.
And very low for John coming to the net. Very low. Well, it'll be interesting if John wins this point. What McEnroe elects to do when Lendl serves at 5-3. Whether he's going to attack the second ball or just get the ball back in and go from there.
At this point, the crowd is almost silently pleading somehow McEnroe to come back.
John wins this point. We're going to hear the crowd applaud very loudly to get behind him. Again, it's the traction. John is not playing on a surface that gives him firm footing, so that little bit of give puts his volleys off just enough so he's not nearly as effective as he would be on a fast surface.
That's right. That's what reduces, too, his ability in terms of the options.
Yes, this clay is a
problem for him.
Yep, this clay is a very good equalizer. Okay, if he can just win this point, the crowd Next point's gonna start screaming out, "Come on, John."
Mr. McEnroe Sr. So the game goes to McEnroe. He trails 5 games to 3. Crowd, as Arthur suggested, applauds, hope springs eternal. Ivan about to serve.
And as expected, crowd exhorting John to dig down deep. Trying to guess what he's going to do here, whether he's going to continue to press, which hasn't worked for him in the past, or whether or not he's going to just get the ball back in the court. See how many errors he makes. Return of serve here. Unforced errors, that is. Just get the ball in the court and go from there. Yes. Off to a good start. Lendl has lost only 5 points in 4 service games this set, so
Love 50. As General Pete Dawkins said when he was here, when the man throws service aces at you, it's pretty hard to put up options. But
John got lucky with that return of serve there. It was high and deep. Okay. Very tentative.
Now, Lendl was playing into McEnroe's forehand when he gets that terrific pace on it with that wrist snap that you described so vividly yesterday.
Yes.
I wish you'd explain that again, because that's a key point in McEnroe's arsenal.
Yes, with that loose strings, John elected again to take a half volley, whipping forehand, which he wasn't hitting too well at the beginning of this match, but seemingly now, at least in that last point, very effectively. Of course, Lendl never has the chance to play in front of his hometown folks. There are no pro tournaments in Czechoslovakia. Whenever he comes here to this storied place, McEnroe's going to be the favorite.
This will be the first service. That was a let ball.
Ace number 7. Take a look at that ace right down the middle in super slow-mo. Split the line. Can't serve any better than that. John never got a racket on it. 15-30. Even taking more time. Lots of sawdust. Oh, and he went for it.
He's been waiting for that a long, long time. 15-40, double break point for John McEnroe. If he can win this game and hold service, they will be, if they would be, at 5 games apiece.
Oh, that serve didn't come close to going over. Shot you were talking about earlier, that half volley forehand from the backhand side. Worked 2 points ago, didn't work that time.
So it's break point now for McEnroe.
think Lendl may go down the middle now. The reason I say that is because if he goes to the backhand side, John's forehand, he'll open the court up. Yeah. The safer shot strategically is to go down the middle. Doesn't open the court up, but let's see what he does. Yes, he went down the middle. John hit his return out. Back to deuce. Okay, watch Lendl serve down the middle. John takes his backhand, punches it wide to Lendl's backhand just beyond the sideline. Right here. Scores deuce. About 2 inches out.
Yeah, it was out. No question about it. Giving everything he's got, and yet not enough against the Ivan Lendl whom he's facing today. Away his racket in disgust. What you have seen again when he had double break point. Error upon error upon error. One of those days.
Now, I think Lendl's going to go back down the middle again.
Maybe with a service ace to wind it up.
Well, I think he just may want to get it, just make sure he doesn't open the court up unnecessarily. Who knows? He may try to go wide. John's burned him there a couple of times. Yeah, it's going down the middle, which is a safer place to go. This one will go down the middle of the service court to jam McEnroe. Hang right for his belly button. Game, set, and match, Ivan Lendl.
6-3, 6-3. For the second time, Ivan Lendl has won the Tournament of Champions. It is the 6th annual has-been Tournament of Champions. Twice John McEnroe has won it, but this year McEnroe could not repeat. Not against Ivan Lendl. Sitting right there, beginning now to refresh himself. McEnroe. A very difficult day indeed. There's no quitting the kid. He had a day when he couldn't do what he wanted to do, and the opponent was the reason. We'll be back. Forest Hills, New York. We're waiting for post-match interviews to be conducted by Donna DeVerona of ABC Sports and the presentation. As a matter of fact, Lendl is walking over right now for the ceremony. And in just a moment, we will go down to Miss DeVerona. Here she is now with the winners. So let's go down to Donna DeVerona.
Ivan, congratulations. I know that you've had a tremendous season so far, 3 successive wins on 3 different services. Today, when you get at the top of your game, how much of it do you consider attitude and how much technique?
I think both are very important, and one without the other is not good against the top players. So what you have to work on is concentrating very hard and working very hard on your strokes too, and hopefully get it together at the right time.
You had little difficulty anticipating McEnroe's approach shots today. Is that because you played him so often?
Well, he approaches quite well, and I was just trying to read them, and I was able to do that.
And how important was this victory for the French Open coming up so soon?
I don't know if it's important for the French, because last year I lost here to John and then I won at the French, so I hope it's not going to be the same.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, back to you, Howard Cosell.
Thank you very much, Donna. And Ivan, you spoke volumes there. Last year, McEnroe smashed you after you had beaten Jimmy Connors 6-love, 6-love. And this time around, you smashed John McEnroe. And so, we'll see about the French Open. We'll be back with more of Tournament of Champions tennis after this word from your local stations.
likes to ever be runner-up, but as consolation, John, I'd like to present you with a check for $40,000. I look forward to seeing you here next year again. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to thank all the sponsors. First of all, Nabisco for supplying us with unlimited amount of Oreos in the locker room. I guess I'm going to have to get a little advice from Shearson Lehman Brothers next year on the final. And all you people for coming out, WCT for putting on a fine event, and most importantly, wish my mother a happy Mother's Day. Thank you very much.
Fantastic tournament. The men and women of Shearson Lehman Brothers are happy to present you with this check for $80,000, along with this 13-pound Malachite trophy. And we look forward to seeing you again next year, too. Thank you.
I would also like to thank everybody for coming, supporting us, watching us, getting upset, getting good shots, bad shots. Also Shearson and Lehman for sponsoring us, Nabisco, and all the tournament stuff. To everybody, I would like to wish Happy Mother's Day, even though in Czechoslovakia Mother's Day is not today, but on March 8th, so my mother gets it twice.
Tournament trophy is held aloft by Yvonne Lendl to the applause of the crowd. John McEnroe, having spoken, as you saw just prior to Yvonne,